what was the point of that? Is anyone else feeling that way, or is that just me? Because a massive portion of the Mario Kart World Direct that just happened was just stuff that we already knew. Now, there is some new things that I've noted down, but I would say overall, that was kind of just, why didn't they just show off that new stuff in the Switch 2 Direct? I don't understand. There's a lot of really cool things, new mechanics that I want to talk about that could have very easily just been added into the Switch 2 Direct. So why there was a whole one dedicated to this, I don't know. Maybe Nintendo wanted to hype it up. I don't know, man. I do not think that things that were shown today is really going to convince people the game is worth $80 for those that are not interested in spending that much money on a game. I think that's completely justified. But hey, you know what? I'm still excited for the game. I'm still going to play it. So yeah, I want to talk about it because there was some really cool things shown. I just don't see why there was a standalone Direct. Okay, so this Direct started off by showing off a bunch of characters that we've already seen. They showed off a few new tracks. We got like a new look at Peach Beach, or maybe we've already seen footage of this. I just haven't seen it. And does Peach Beach look anything like the original? It is so radically different. I'm going to be really curious to actually play it and see if there's any sort of familiarity, because it just doesn't seem like it's anywhere close to the same thing. We also got to see more of the character select screen, and as someone that got to play a little bit of the demo a couple weeks ago at the Switch 2 event, I was not a fan of the character select screen, seeing how disorganized and messy it was, with regular characters on one section and then a bunch of their costumes on another. Well, it looks like that's just how it's going to be in the final game. I really do not like the character select screen at all. I think it is horrible. I don't know why they organized it that way. Like, even in Mario Kart 8, at least at the bare minimum, they had different colors for, like, Yoshi and Shy Guy. Why aren't they doing that for this game? I don't understand. You have even more costumes for so many more characters. It's gonna be a mess. It's just crazy. Maybe they, like, didn't show us that. I don't know, maybe you like unlock every single character and then they can be better organized in the character select, but for how it is right now, it's just a mess. I'm not a fan of it at all. We also got to see a full look of the map, which is kind of cool. I know we've kind of already seen that, but we got like a really clear look of like where all the courses are and stuff. And they also teased that once you do every single track in, I think it was either the Grand Prix or the free roam mode or whatever, that's when you unlock Rainbow Road. And I thought that's a really interesting approach, to basically have Rainbow Road kind of be like the final boss of the game. That's actually really, really cool. They also showed off the Grand Prix, where you can play the classic way, or you can just drive from place to place. And this is also something you can do in the Versus mode. We finally got to see time trials in Versus mode. Wow, I can't believe those are in Mario Kart, right? But, yeah, I mean, that's actually pretty cool that they allow you to pick. I'm glad that there's options for that, because I know there's going to be some people that just want to play it the way that Mario Kart used to be, so that's great that both options are there. We also got a better look at the Kamek, or comic, as it was said in the Direct.
Comic.
And, again, we've already kind of seen this. We got a really good look exactly at how the item works, and, yep. Basically, Kamek just turns all the characters into, like, random enemies. Looking at the options menu, I also noticed there is something new on there, which is Auto Use Item. Yes, there is Smart Steering, Auto Steering, Auto Use Item. Why even play the game at that point? That is literally the game playing itself in every aspect. I think that's hilarious. I don't know who's going to use all of those. Like, I can understand if you're not very good at the game, maybe doing smart steering or auto steering, sure. But auto use item? I mean, what? We also heard a little bit more about the shopping bag, and this is kind of cool because basically whenever a character eats it, the character's costume changes based on the type of food, which I think is a really interesting concept. Because here's the thing, right? We've already seen someone like Cow eat a hamburger, cannibalism, been seeing that joke around. It doesn't seem like some characters are going to have costumes. It might just be like the humanoid or the human-like characters that get costumes. But again, that wasn't really explained in this Direct. That would have been nice for them to say, you know, to say something brief about, like, hey, only certain characters will actually have costumes. We've also learned about some new tech. There is this new charge jump move where basically you can jump in the air, hold the jump, and then release it for a boost. And I don't know about you guys, but this is the most interesting new idea that I saw here. And they also confirmed that to ride a wall, you have to literally jump at it, which is really cool. So I think we're going to see a lot of charge jumps when you're, like, playing online. I think people are just going to spam charge jump over and over again. it's going to look really, really silly. Like, whenever there's a straightaway, no, you don't have to snake or drift anymore. Just charge jump over and over and over again. So that's that. I am very curious to see how effective that's going to end up being in the final game. Another really bizarre feature, you can now rewind if you mess up a jump. So an example they used was, I think it was like Baby Mario or something. He was trying to get to some like higher area. He missed the jump. So he was able to literally rewind what he was doing. And at first I was like, hold on, is this save stating? No, it's not save stating. It is, you can literally rewind in real time. So like, let's say you're in second place or something. You miss a jump or whatever. Oh no, what are you gonna do? I guess I'll rewind so you can rewind, but all the characters behind you are just gonna zoom forward. So that begs the question, what's the point? Who's gonna use rewind? Like, maybe there's a use for it that I'm just not thinking of. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, time trials and versus mode are back. They talked about that. And of course, you know, battle mode makes a return. There's really not much to say about it. They showed off a bunch of new tracks. We got to look at Big Donut, which is freaking huge, by the way. So I'm kind of curious how many battle mode tracks there's going to be. I mean, there's got to be like at least like 8, 10, 12, something like that. I mean, as far as I could tell, the only new one, or I'm sorry, the only old one returning was Big Donut. I'm really, really hoping they bring back Block Fort. That is still, that or like Pipe Plaza, right? One of those two. Those are both classic, fantastic battle mode tracks. Would love to see those again. We did not see any options on whether you can turn off the timer or not, because I did notice the timer on my second watch, and I'm not going to lie, I got a little sad about that. So I really, really hope there's a way to turn off the timer, because I think it completely ruins the fun of battle mode when there's really no incentive to not get hit by stuff. Like, if you just respawn after losing all your balloons, who cares, right? Like, yeah, I know there's a point system now, and a timer makes sense when you're playing online, but at least locally, it would be really awesome to be able to turn it off. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a way to do that, which is really unfortunate. Now, free roam, this is where things really started to get good. So, as I was kind of suspecting, so if you watched my prediction video a couple months ago, I was thinking that there'd be a single-player mode that has you racing on the tracks and doing missions and stuff. That is literally what they showed off here. So basically, you find a bunch of P-switches and hidden coins, and these allow you to do missions. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of incentive to just go around, explore, find all sorts of like cool areas and stuff. And this is great. This is going to be the best part of the game, is just doing the free roam, finding all the P-switches, trying to do everything as fast as possible. Like, I already know I'm going to have a lot of fun. Maybe, hey, you know what? If the speed run isn't even that long, I might actually speed run 100% runs for this game. I think that would be really, really cool. It really does remind me of like Forza Horizon or like GTA. Like, to an extent, this is almost becoming Grand Theft Auto, except, you know, without all the violence. It's just a Mario version. We also got to look at the online mode, and I frankly do not have much to say about it. It looks pretty much the same as Mario Kart 8. And speaking of Mario Kart 8, we actually got to see the main menu for a couple of seconds. And I know this doesn't really matter. I just thought it was kind of funny how the main menu for Mario Kart World and Mario Kart 8 are designed almost exactly the same. They have the 4 little icons for single, multiplayer, online, wireless, and then just like a couple other things on the bottom. I thought it was kind of funny how it just looks exactly the same. They did not try to change it at all. Like, no, it looks exactly the same. The last thing that shut off was the game chat, and basically you can use the Switch 2 camera or whatever camera you want, and you can use face cam. That basically goes above the racer that you're playing as, so you can see everyone's reactions as they're playing. It's cool, and that's about it. That is pretty much the entirety of what we saw for today. I mean, look, like I said, I'm really, really excited for the game, but this did not help at all with the price issue. Now, if they said something like, hey, we're also going to be doing brand new like upgrades, brand new islands, something like that, and it's all going to be free and they'll be releasing throughout the entirety of the Switch 2 generation, if they announced something like that today, that might have gotten more people a little more interested in, okay, you know what, $80 is a lot, but hey, at least I'm going to get all this free content for paying a little bit extra. So I'm thinking, you know, they're going to do DLC, obviously. It's going to happen, but it's probably going to be paid. It's probably going to be paid, which is insane. It'll probably be like $20. So there you go. $100. Obviously, we don't know yet. I'm just assuming the full package is going to end up being $100 freaking dollars. Just insane. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I actually will be back later this month because I want to talk about Switch 2 prices for basically the final time. I'm starting to get tired of the conversation, but I have one more video on it coming soon. So with that, I'll see you all very soon.